As restaurants try to stay afloat with curbside pickup options, most of the food heading home is a main meal, leaving appetizers on the shelf. This puts Idaho onion and
Our
potato
onion
producer
quality
Jerem Jemmett
was,
in a pickle.
quality.
He started planting this season's crop on his 350 acres in early February. By the time planting was done, COVID-19 had cut off access to restaurants, his largest customer.
Once you're planted, it's, you're kind of sunk to that point. And so um, then you have to start really figuring out what makes the best business sense. Do we continue to raise the crop? Do we abandon the crop? And so that's created some headaches and a lot of sleepless nights at times.
Some producers may have to disc under a ripe crop in a few months if those markets fail to reopen. Jemmett contributes to Idaho's more than 13 billion pounds of spuds produced annually. Most potatoes end up in storage after harvest, if not bagged immediately for sale. But when the food service sector began canceling orders in March, piles like these were made as sales to arenas and entertainment venues evaporated.
That represented about 60%, 60% of our potato business. So all of a sudden, those potatoes got to find a home somewhere. And we've done everything we can, the Idaho Potato Commission, to redirect those into retail through various creative programs.
When images of raw milk being dumped down the drain and green beans being plowed under were showing up on social media, those in the food insecurity community noticed. Feeding Tampa Bay covers a 10-county area where more than 4 million Floridians live. Calls for assistance went from 600,000 to more than 900,000 as workers were furloughed or laid off in the wake of the pandemic. With an excess of produce in the pipeline and needs at food banks surging, local food pantries organized a way to change the direction of the supply chain.
Organizations like ours, my peer group in the state of Florida, the other food banks, we tried to step into that as much as we can. Sometimes that's a financial issue. Can we raise the money necessary to do that? Sometimes it's just a logistics issue. Nobody wants to see food go into the ground. No one, not a farmer, certainly not us as a food relief organization, and certainly not a family sitting at home who could have used it.
Regional supermarket Publix bought 1 million pounds of locally grown produce for food banks. So did local producers, who likely have already lost $500 million in revenue. The Florida Department of Agriculture threw its resources behind the problem and created another venue for the oversupply.
So what we were able to do is create our online commodities marketplace. We created a new website, web page on our website that allowed our agriculture industry to upload all the commodities that they may have available. And then all of our local, whether it's consumers or other food banks, can go right onto the website, see where that local produce is, see where their farmers markets are, their U-Picks, and it really has been an opportunity to connect the consumer directly to our ag producers. It's been a tremendous success, but unfortunately that $500 million worth of losses is already going to be lost.